The frescoes depicting the mythological tale of Psyche and Eros by Renaissance artist Raphael in his workshop in 1518 can be found inside Raphael's workshop in the Villa Farnesina. The frescoes represent episodes from the fable of Psyche narrated in Apollo's Golden Ass. This is the tale. Psyche was a beautiful mortal. Men were so struck by her beauty that they were fearful of her. The idea of a woman's beauty scaring off men was a common archetype in ancient Rome. In the right-hand corner of this image, Venus sits in the heavens with her son, Eros, also known as Cupid. She points towards the statue of Psyche. She's angry that men are coming to her temple to worship Psyche instead of herself. Due to her jealousy of Psyche's beautiful nature and the attention she receives, she asks her son to shoot Psyche with one of his arrows to make her fall in love with the ugliest man alive as punishment for her great beauty. Accidentally, Cupid shoots his own foot and he falls in love with Psyche. However, since he is a god and she is a mortal being, they cannot be together. Psyche would not be able to handle his divinity and immortality. Thus, Eros flies her to a beautiful palace where she is only accompanied by servants. He visits her every night to talk to her, but never shows his face, as she cannot know he is a god. She would not be able to handle it. In this painting, Cupid seeks help from the three Graces, as he knows he cannot be with Psyche as a mortal, but loves her nonetheless. At the same time, Venus meets with her sister and mother as she becomes aware of how her son has been visiting Psyche. She's incredibly angry and asks them to help her punish both Eros and Psyche. They're unable to help her, so she goes to her father Zeus to help her punish her son. In the right-hand corner of this painting, we see Venus asking her father to help her punish Eros and Psyche. We can note the difference in her facial expressions as she flies upwards towards the heaven in the left-hand corner, and then when she's speaking with her father in the right-hand corner. When speaking with her father, she takes on a coy attitude to receive help from her father. This was another common archetype in ancient Rome, of the female taking on a helpless, girlish attitude to receive help from her father. Zeus sends his messenger Mercury to take Psyche from the palace Eros holds her in. Psyche asks Eros to bring her sister to the palace so she is not alone. He obliges, and when they arrive, they tell her she must see who her lover is. They claim that he could be a monster, and she must discover his true identity. Psyche decides to trip Cupid by leaving a lamp on when he comes to visit her later that night. When she sees his beauty, she realizes how in love with him she is. However, as soon as he realizes she's seen him, he disappears, never to return. She leaves the castle and decides to travel around the globe to find him. Mercury grabs Psyche while she's searching for Eros. Mercury brings her to Venus, where Venus tells Psyche she must complete a multitude of tasks. One of the most difficult tasks Psyche must complete is to go to the underworld to steal some of Persephone's beauty. Persephone, the wife of Pluto, the god of the underworld, spends half the year in the underworld. A difficult and tumultuous task, but Psyche is successful and returns to Venus. After her completion of these tasks, Venus releases her. Cupid pleads with Zeus to let Psyche become a goddess so that they can be together. Mercury brings her to the trial of the gods. After a long trial, she's finally accepted. This last image portrays a banquet of Psyche's induction occurring in the heavens with all of the gods. The room where these depictions lie was used as a stage for celebrations and theatrical performances organized by Agostino Chigi. Agostino Chigi was a wealthy banker from Siena who built this villa. To give the space a festive and theatrical feel to it, Raphael adorned the room with magnificent hanging festoons as though the greenery of the gardens had invaded the villa itself. In the center of the room, he designed 2 tapestries, which depict the concluding scenes. The splendid council of the gods, where the unjustly persecuted Psyche is finally received by the gods with divine compliance, and the marriage of Cupid and Psyche, the symbolic culmination of the entire cycle. However, although the general layout of the cycle and planning of the individual scenes and figures are attributed to the genius of Raphael, as proven by a number of autographic sketches, the actual completion of the designs into frescoes was carried out by his numerous workshop assistants, including Giovanni Frescopenni and Giulio Romano. Further depictions that Thank you for listening, and here are my references.